Spokenly, I haven't thought about flying for a long time. I haven't dreamed of that moment when I was alone above the clouds for a long time. I haven't dreamed of waking up in a room surrounded in blue and green grass for more years than I could dream of remembering. I haven't walked back into the past or scratched on the doors of my origins, where it all came from, since I held up that cape for the last time.
Return to Cape Town 10th Year Anniversary Edition is a revised version of Andy N's first poetry book. The book can be purchased from Amazon and it contains numerous additional material.
Spokenly. Hi, it's Andy N from Spoken Label. Thank you today for streaming or downloading another episode of Spoken Label. Spoken Label was originally set up on beginning of 2016 and as of speaking has currently nearly 300 sessions. The full archive is available on Spoken Label bandcamp.com, although it is available for free for stream and download if you wish. I am always grateful for any sort of kind of donation to enable me to keep the running costs of this podcast going. And enjoy. Take care. Bye bye. Spoken Label.
Hi guys, Andy N, Spoken Label, back in the house. We're local today. That's fantastic because I've got a lady with me, and we first met not that long ago, but we were talking for a while online because my good friend Mike Booth tagged me in something on Facebook, and this artist, whatever it was today, was doing a call out for some poets to get in contact with to work with on the book. So we're going to talk about that, among other things. The lady is Amanda Beck McKim, and she's in Chiltern, one of my favourite alt places in Manchester. Great chat to a local writer and artist. So Amanda, for people who don't know you, first of all, I'll tell everybody a little bit about yourself, because I know you've done your art one way or another for over 30 years, haven't you? So
so I'm a community artist. Normally I work a lot in schools and I work with people a lot. So I've been working for probably over 20 years anyway, working with people doing art and sort of inspiring them to create things, really. But I did a textile degree originally, so I make puppets.
Oh, of course you do, don't you?
All these creature puppets. The COVID life stuff that I've been doing is completely different than that. So it's been quite a change of direction for me over the lockdown period of, through COVID. My work's taken completely new direction from sort of exotic creatures to COVID cues.
Yeah, it's completely different. I've seen your earlier work, and now obviously we're going to talk about your COVID life book today primarily, but obviously this started at the beginning of the lockdown for yourself, where the call out came from. Now, what made you want to go from doing all your puppets and stuff into digital art?
I got an iPad Pro for my birthday, and it was a second-hand one. I just really took to it. I'd done some digital art before, but being able to use the Apple Pencil, I'd done a lot of drawings before. I as part of my course, I had to do a lot of visual art. I do visual art in many forms, but the iPad drawing, I thought it was brilliant because you could actually draw with lights and things and use all different materials, and it was just really convenient during the time when I wasn't in my studio, because I was at home with because the kids were off school and everything. It was a lot easier to use the iPad. So I really took to it. I started using Procreate, and I started drawing cues in the community, and I started sharing them on my local Facebook page, and I got a really brilliant response from them. People enjoyed the fact that it was places that they recognized, and it was really positive, and so it made me want to do more. So I just kept drawing things as they were happening, as different restrictions came in, like wearing masks on public transport, that kind of thing, or queues for banks. There was massive queues for banks during the lockdown, And I started off just drawing them because of the perspective of the queue, and then I got really interested in all the characters that were in the queue and all the different people who lived in the area, really.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and people like seeing them, so, people who they knew in the queues as well. So it just encouraged me, really. So it became like a timeline of the pandemic, of the different things people were doing and the different seasons and things.
Did you envisage this actually would take off the way the project has for you at the time? Because obviously it led into a book, didn't it? So
yeah, not at all. I started off just drawing, just for drawing's sake, really, and it was just a reaction because I'd just done a project which was an animation of a natural walk around the water park, and I'd done that for a company called Cartwheel, and it was like a collaboration with a musician. So I'd done that, and that was all natural. And I just felt like I wanted to do something really COVID related because, yeah, I'd been doing all kind of nature stuff. So I'd never drawn urban scenes before, so it was quite different for me.
Yeah, it's a fascinating book for what you've done here. That's why. So, and obviously, like, people read it, they will obviously know quite a few poets in the book. Obviously, I'm one of them who would hide on that. But like, it's quite a bit of your own work in that as well. And you hadn't really wrote poetry before that, had you? I seen
No, not at all. And I think I put a call out for writers to get involved. And well, first of all, I decided I wanted it to be an exhibition to start off with, but then I found that was difficult because all the galleries had a backlog and a lot of them were shut and stuff, so it was difficult to do that. And I thought it would be good to do a book, so I kind of put a question out on the local Facebook page and Instagram, asking for writers to see if they wanted to respond to the drawings, and I got a really good response. And I suppose I'd seen a few friends writing poems on Facebook and about COVID and about, different things linked with it. And I just thought it would make the pictures mean more if they had words with them. And it would just be more interesting in a poem rather than just the information about the pictures. And so, yeah, I asked writers, and then I think I got quite inspired by joining the kind of Zooms and things for poets, and also meeting up with a few groups and things, and also reading the poems that I got. And I thought I had so many drawings that I thought I'll never get enough poets to write for these. So I started doing it myself, and I found I had something to say about the pictures because I took a lot of them, and I was there at the time, so I found I had something to say, and I really started to enjoy writing. Yeah,
it does. I think it's an interesting experience because I'm always a believer when you're an artist. Like you've moved around various forms of art. I've always been, pardon me, I've always been a poet, but I've branched out to other things myself in the last few years. And I think you find, don't you, when you're good at one thing, I think it's easier sometimes to adapt it to other sides of the art spectrum, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that I think it's different with poetry as well, because I think sometimes you can enjoy all different styles of poetry, and you can enjoy poems that have been written by somebody who's just done it because they wanted to, like in the community, as much as you can enjoy, people who've been writing for years. I think as long as what they're saying means something to you, I think, I think it's something everybody can actually have a go at, really. I'm not putting down the skill of these writers that have been doing it for a long time, but yeah, I think it is something that you can, I don't know, I think everybody can enjoy it, like art, really, I suppose.
Yeah, I think I always believe in the point myself. Like it doesn't. I always admire people that are writing, and like I said with art, really, it doesn't matter how good you are at it. You've had the chance to express yourself more. And that's why.
Mhm.
So I think your book's been very encouraging for people through that itself. And it's you put the book out. I'm looking at it myself, and I thought, so I could write stories, and quite a lot of these poems I could imagining the people myself. So that's, I think, it's probably, I can certainly see what you're getting at with it and that self. What made you want to bring it out as a book then?
Because I felt like I was mapping out a timeline of the pandemic, and I felt like it needed to be put together in some way. And I would really like it to become an exhibition at some point. I've got some images in an exhibition at the moment, but it's quite a small amount. I'd like it, like the whole thing to be an exhibition, but I actually thought it would be like an archive of the time, and that it's something that people could remember it by. And yeah, and that's why I thought it was really good to involve lots of people in the community as well.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea, because I know obviously now we're just about starting to step out of lockdown. You've hosted a couple of readings, haven't you, in Cholton? Obviously, like one at the local library, and also one at was it the bowling green? I heard.
Yeah.
How was that as an experience?
Really good, actually. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, it went down really well. It got a really warm reception, and yeah, people loved it. The whole thing it's been brilliant in the fact that everybody is like, people have bought the book and then they've come back and bought 5 more for friends and family. So
really? Oh wow.
Yeah, that's been happening a lot, and it's been brilliant because people do actually think it's really good. So it's great.
That's brilliant. That's great. It's great.
So a lot of the people who came to the event already had the book, but there was some new people who came along as well. But yeah, it was a very supportive crowd, and and I'd not hosted an event like that before, where I was the host and introducing everybody, and I really enjoyed it. I was surprised that I wasn't. I was quite nervous beforehand, but when I was actually doing it, I felt quite confident, actually, and everybody said it was, went really smoothly, and it was good.
I think usually, because I know you do a lot of teaching, don't you, of art and stuff to the community. I think I think it's just another skill really for that. Because I think it's probably the case that when you're used to doing that, it's almost like you used to like talking to public, aren't you? So I think it's probably it's this different way. Yeah. So brilliant.
It was just the fact that I was reading myself, and I was also introducing everybody, and it was a live event, which had not really done, with a PA system and slides and all that kind of thing. So it's something I'd not done. I've done a few lectures in where I've talked about what I do, but yeah, I found it really easy to talk about it because it was something I'd lived through and something I was passionate about. So I don't think the nerves went completely, and I felt fine. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, do you have any plans for the future with this in your art then? Could you see yourself doing another book like this in the future?
Well, I've been asked, one of the writers, Maria Angotti, has asked me to do some illustrations for some books she's writing. So that and other collaborations come from it. So that's really nice.
That's good.
But yeah, I think I can see myself doing more of this kind of thing. I found it really good because it's kind of got me into the illustration thing by which I was always doing art and drawing before, but it's a good way of showing my skills in like a, it shows all my skills in there. So it's really good.
Completely with it. So that's a great idea. I said what you've done there, and still good luck with definitely. So certainly with it. So, and do you think you'll do more about carry on writing now as well? Or no, you're not sure or not yet?
Yeah. I've wrote a few poems since, so I think I will. Yeah, I think it was great to have something like COVID to kind of base it around. but yeah, I've just done a poem about my son going to university, and so that, because it's just I don't know. I think I probably will continue to write, definitely. I think I may join a writing group or something where so I can get better at it as well. Yeah.
Well, I've always believed in as a creative person. I think you can never stop learning from stuff like that anyway. So I think
sorry.
No, go on, ladies first.
I think they can learn more with the performance skills as well, and the timing of of reading poems, and that's all quite new to me. So I think there's a lot I can learn, and I've been really inspired by the writers that I've collaborated with. And also what I've really enjoyed is people telling me their stories and then me writing poems using their stories, so using their words.
I thought that had happened, because I remember you telling me that one the other year before we did this. And how was that then? Did you listen to them thinking, oh wow, I can write something about that on their behalf, almost, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this they sent me their pictures, and then I asked them information about the pictures. And I had one where the daughter of I'd done a picture of a guy who's a bit of a Chorlton legend, who's 104.
Wow! And, good God! Yeah, that's incredible.
And his daughter told me all the story of his life, and he had a really interesting life, and he was really fed up when pubs were shut because he would be a regular at the bowling green and that. So there's stories like that you hear all this lovely stuff, and you think, oh, I can. But so I did it intentionally. So I'd ask them questions that would lead to, or I asked them if they wanted to write something, or so I had a few where people kind of worked with me to write a poem. So it's like I helped them because they weren't that confident in doing it themselves. So I just helped them make it flow better, or work with them a bit. Yeah, so it's good.
Brilliant. Now, okay, well, that's pretty well covered with questions anyway. So if people want to find out more about you, Amanda, where are they best going, first of all?
You can find me on Instagram, so Amanda Beck McKim, or Facebook. It's Wired and Wild. Now I have got a website, but it's all my old stuff. It's not got all my new stuff on, so I need to get a new one really that's separate from me, because it's all puppets and textiles and things. So
which are very good, but obviously, like I said, it's what you were at the time, isn't it? So
yeah, so I haven't I need to do a new one or update that one, but yeah, I've not been very good at that. But yeah, so they can or they can email me if
you
can put my email.
Send it over to me, right, by Facebook, and I can always put it on the write-up for you. Okay, now obviously in relation to the COVID life book, how are people best buying this book?
Well, I've not got many left, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a hint then to do some more then, isn't it?
I know. I've got I did give Chorlton Bookshop 10 a couple of weeks ago, so they may still have some in. They haven't told me they've sold them all yet. So Chorlton Bookshop, and I think I've got about 7 left, but I need to definitely keep about 3 for myself, for me and my children.
No, you definitely do. Now, I wanted to digress slightly, Amanda, to conclude with today, because I know when me and my wife obviously met you a couple of weeks ago, you told us the story about how all the problems you had getting these books delivered originally. And I think we've got to tell people it. I think it's such a funny story, and it kind of sums you up as a person, I think, to a degree as well.
Well. No, I was told the books were being delivered on one day, and I was off that day, so I wasn't working. And I then got a message to say they were arriving the next day, and I was working that day. And so I was having 400 books delivered on a day that I wouldn't be there. So I got my friend her husband was working from home, and he agreed. He said he'd be in, and he lives around the corner. But on the morning that they were supposed to be delivered, one box of books, which had 16 in them, arrived at something like 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I knew they weren't going to my friend's house because they came to mine. And so so I wrote a note on the door with the address of the person that they needed to go to. I mean, I'd arranged for them to go to my neighbour, with the company, but I don't know why the DPL guys hadn't been told this. And then I was just about to go out, and another van came, and then so with another 2 boxes of books. And then while I was out, some did go to my neighbour that they were supposed to go to. But he's got quite a bad back, and because of COVID, they wouldn't sort of take them in the house. So poor guy had to take all the boxes in his house. And then another one went to my next door neighbour that I'd not even met. He just moved in. And so he had a big heavy box of books I mean, it's quite a big book as well. So it's like, so I had a nightmare on the day for getting these books delivered. But yeah, we got them in the end, but it was a bit of a palaver with that. But yeah. And I need to mention that after the costs, I raised £1,000 for ARC, a charity, an Arts for Mental Health charity. And I'm really pleased with that, because they're going to spend the money on arts materials for all their projects.
Well done, seriously.
Yeah,
and if Amanda's got any of the books left, they're well worth picking up, because I think she's still selling for £10 each. You're still going to get it's fantastic value, because it's when I remember when me and Amanda met you in the pub and you produced the size of the book, and I turned around to Amanda and said, "Oh, this is going to break one of our backs carrying this back home tonight."
Yeah, it's 200 pages, so it sort of exceeded everybody's expectations. I've sold it far too cheap, but I did that really because I wanted them to be affordable, because loads of people had been involved in actually, and I wasn't paying the poets for contributing. And so I wanted to do it for charity. I wanted to get the book made because I thought it was important to do it. But I also wanted to do it for charity because, so many people had contributed. And I also wanted people to be able to afford to buy it. And I just thought £10 was a price point that most people don't mind paying for charity, like if for something they haven't seen yet, because it was through a Kickstarter campaign that I got it published. So I raised the money from, I put the question out there on Facebook: would you buy this book? Would you pre-order it without seeing it if I made it into a book for £10? So I kind of did that, and everybody said yes. So it gave me the confidence to have it published. And so that's how I got it created in the first place. And so, so it's raised the money and it's going towards art materials, which is brilliant for me because, I love using lots of art materials when I do projects. I never skimp on art materials, and I love them to look, colourful and rich. And so, it'll do a lot of good. I think for people who are struggling with mental health problems.
Yeah, I think it's helped people a lot this house, because you think we've gone through a really difficult 18 months as a society in England.
Yeah. I mean, we've sadly had 3 of the ladies that were in the book have died since, and which is really sad. But all their families, it meant so much to them to have their parents in the book. And obviously they were vulnerable so they were actually really pleased that they could be part of the book, and it meant a lot to them. So there is a lot of emotional stories that were there, although the book's very hopeful and like it's not like it's not dark or anything, but there's a lot of love for the people that
it's not a dark one, stretch of all this one. I think it's got a lot of, that's what's really good about your paintings in the book. There's a lot of hope in the book as well. There is. And that's just in the paintings as well as the words. That's why it's a beautiful book to read.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of love for the people that are in the book, because the people, obviously, some of the parents were, shielding and were a bit more vulnerable, but it was lovely to be part of that for them as well. Like,
no, I agree. That's why I'm looking forward to you now, for the second half, actually reading out a few of your poems for us. So, and they're all brilliant. I know I've heard them all before, I've read them all before, so it's been brilliant. So, right, what we'll do, Amanda, we'll take a quick break here, and we'll be back, everyone, in a minute. With Amanda to read out 4 of her poems for us, which is going to be great fun. So, thank you today, Amanda. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Take care, guys and girls. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Spoken Mail.
Hi, guys. Still here with the lovely Amanda. She's going to do 4 poems for her new book. Over to you, Amanda.
Hi. This one is the protest poem, it's called. And it's quite funny because it's actually about my daughter. And she was only 14 at the time, and it was during the pandemic, and she wanted to go on the Kill the Bill protest. So this poem is an argument between me and her about her going to this protest. So the protest poem. Please, can I go? I said no, but I feel left out. Please, can I go? We're still in lockdown. There won't be any trouble. We'll stay with my friends in my bubble. I want to make a stand, raise my hand. My right to protest, I must protect. It's important, you see, when things are unfair, to show that we care. Counting our views or our rights we will lose. I will stay on the outskirts. I will wear my mask. Please let me go, that's all I ask. I'm still nervous, you're only 14. I'm not just being mean. I worry that it may turn bad. Okay, I will talk to your dad. Move away from troublemakers. Stay clear of risk takers. Come home at first sign. Things are getting out of line. I get your need to demonstrate. Good cause affiliate. Your identity you explore. To believe you can do more. Protest she will. Mind shaping times. She's making a sign. Kill the bill. Protest she will.
Fantastic. I want to know your daughter. I can well imagine a very spirited young lady there, shall we say, right?
Definitely. Yeah, we did kind of stay on the outskirts to make sure she was all right.
Best for safe than sorry, right? You let her look. No doubt.
It was important that she went.
If you let her go by herself, all you'd have seen is pictures all over the press of her right in the middle of it, probably jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, on to number 2.
Okay, this one's called A Feast with All the Trimmings, and it's on the image. It had an old man getting his Christmas dinner from his family on Christmas Day. So, as a lot of us couldn't visit our families this year, it was a really nice image of him getting his whole big feast Christmas dinner covered in cling film on his doorstep. So this one's A Feast with All the Trimmings. My Christmas lunch delivered, grateful to be considered. Festivities put on hold for the vulnerable and the old. I'm 92. Happy to see you. I really appreciate, even though I can't celebrate. Brought to my door, who could ask for more? A feast with all the trimmings, a full dinner brimming. Even though we can't meet, to know you care is a treat. It keeps my spirits high, I can't deny. I know my family, they love me. I know this will pass. I'm happy not to meet en masse. For a while to live longer. I've been through the war and I am stronger.
Tremendous, absolutely. Really got the emotion in that one, Amanda. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Absolutely tremendous. Okay, you get straight into number 3 then, when you're ready.
Okay. This one is about my dentist appointment, and
don't start me on dentists.
I was in a lot of pain over lockdown, and I didn't know if I'd be able to get an appointment. Really, I sort of held on a bit too long, and in the end I needed an emergency one. So this is the day I went to the dentist. Oh, actually, it was the day I had my crown removed. So it was the actual appointment where I had work done.
Oh, so. God, don't talk to me about crowns. I'll start swearing. We'll turn this podcast into 18 ratings straight away. So, right, I know. We'll let you get on with your point.
Okay. Dentist appointment. Waiting outside, appointment arrives. A space queue to save lives. Dr. Prudding in his full PPE. He looks like an extra from ET. To keep us safe under current restrictions, a second wave is in the predictions. Reflections of lights in visor of plastic. To stop me hurting would be fantastic. Down he peers, injection deep. Sensitive nerves put to sleep. Removing my crown, eyes wide with fear. Gripping the chair. A trip to the dentist, my nightmare. To get rid of this pain tormenting me would make me sane. I would be carefree. Toothache, a painful distraction. Rotting decay, extraction. It will be worth it to rid of this pain. I will be able to sleep again. Stubborn old crown, so solid and strong. Get through this, it won't be long. Until I'm pain-free, able to sleep, feel more like me. Thank you, Dr. Prudding, no longer in pain. In 2 weeks' time, I'll be back again. For my shiny new crown to be fit, while in the chair I patiently sit.
Great stuff again, yeah. Well, certainly when I had my crown removed, I had a crown removal in the lockdown last year, and I was in absolute agony, and I certainly wasn't sitting there patiently in mine. That's the best way to put it. No, good stuff. Good stuff, Amanda, definitely so. Okay, onto the big conclusion.
And this one's, I want to include this one because my son's just gone to university and he's just moved into halls in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, God help me then. God help me then.
And so the image was an image of students protesting on Oxford Road from the university.
Well, if it's anything like your daughter, then they'd be in the middle of it probably quite soon. Then.
Yeah, well, this was last year. So it was when all the students were locked in their halls. And it was really bad because a lot of them had moved away from home for the first time and they were in halls and they were trapped in there basically, and they were getting given rubbish food parcels. And yeah, so it's called Students Before Profit. We are students protesting, 5K for what? Our rights protecting on the landscape a blot. All students self-isolating. Corona the virus, not the beer. Cases are multiplying. It's COVID-19 we all fear. We are living on pasta delivered to our rooms. Broadband could be faster. Lessons are on Zoom. We're not going to drop it, not allowed to go out. Students Before Profit, our banners scream and shout. Our debts are rising, moved away from hometowns. Missed out on socialising, staying in gets us down. Tins of beans, white bread, keep our diet cheap. We are bright and well read. Our understanding is deep. No fruit or vitamin C. We are getting frustrated. No veg, not even peas, getting constipated. How are you spending our money? No support or protection. Our student loans, not funny. We're at risk of infection. No test production or lateral flow. No rent reduction, not fair, you know. We are the future. Time to invest. Stop ripping us off. We are doing our best.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed with the sentiment completely there, that one, Amanda. Fantastic. It's been a brilliant session today, and I would have expected little else from you, that one, definitely. So thank you again, Amanda. So hang around. So I do need to talk to you after the session. But thank you again. It's been a pleasure today. We've been looking forward to this one since we met. Was it a couple months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We got your book off here. Yeah, it seems longer actually. So lockdown's funny times at the moment, straight away anyway. So
well, it was about 10 months that it took to do the book. So it's it feels like longer.
I bet it does on that one straight away. So anyway, that's it for today, guys and girls.
Okay.
So hang around, Amanda. Of
Thank
course,
you very much. Really enjoyed it.
Me too as well. Hang around, need a quick audio of Mike, but as always, as Don Callis says, that's Impact Wrestling, guys. Stay safe and stay over.
Spoken Label.